John Mercer stood at the viewport of Lunar Outpost Delta, his knuckles white as he gripped the railing. The blue sphere of Earth hung in the blackness of space, peaceful and serene. Then the first missiles hit. "No," he whispered as bright flashes bloomed across North America. The comm system exploded with panicked voices. "This is Houston Control. We're under attack." "Unknown orbital." The transmission cut to static. Mercer's heart hammered in his chest. His family was in Boston. His wife, his daughter. The city disappeared under a cloud of fire and debris. "All personnel to emergency stations," blared the outpost AI. "Unknown vessels have entered Earth orbit." "This is not a drill." Mercer ran through the metal corridors, bumping into panicked scientists and technicians. He had been stationed here as security detail after 15 years as a Marine. "A cushy retirement post," they said. "Nothing ever happens on the moon," they said. In the command center, screens showed the devastation. Massive ships hovered over major cities, raining down destruction. New York, London, Beijing, all burning. "What are they?" asked a young technician, her face pale with shock. "Doesn't matter," Mercer said, his voice hard. "They're the enemy now." Commander Phillips stumbled in, blood running down his face. "Communications are down. We can't reach Earth Command." "What about the other outposts?" Mercer asked. "Gone. We're the last ones standing." A new alert flashed on the main screen. An incoming transmission. Phillips nodded to the comms officer who opened the channel. The screen filled with something not human. Gray skin, 6 eyes, mandibles where a mouth should be. "People of Earth," it said in perfect English. "Your resources are now property of the Crothal Empire. Your bodies will serve as biological material for our expansion. Resistance is pointless." The transmission ended. The room fell silent. "We need weapons," Mercer said, breaking the silence. "And a way off this rock." "There's nothing we can do," Phillips said, slumping into a chair. "We're just a research station." A man stepped forward from the back of the room. Thin, with glasses and a lab coat. Dr. Alan Wright. Mercer knew him as the quiet scientist who kept to himself. "Actually," Wright said, "there is something." Wright led Mercer through a hidden door behind the supply closet. Inside was a lab Mercer had never seen before. "What is this place?" Mercer asked. "Project Vengeance," Wright said, activating the lights. In the center of the room sat a sleek ship, unlike any Mercer had seen before. "We've been developing it for 5 years. Experimental drive. Weapon systems that can absorb and redirect energy. Why wasn't I told about this? Need to know basis. And now you need to know." Wright handed Mercer a tablet. "It can hold 12 people. That's all we can save." Mercer looked at the ship and back at the screens showing Earth burning. "We're not running. We're fighting back." "With what army?" Wright asked. "We don't need an army. We need a plan." Mercer started checking the ship's systems. "How soon can we launch?" 6 hours. "But Mercer, these aliens, they killed my family." Mercer cut him off. "They killed everyone. I don't care what they are. They're going to pay." As they prepared the ship, Mercer noticed Wright sending a transmission from a private console. When Wright saw Mercer watching, he quickly shut it down. "Who were you talking to?" Mercer asked. "All communications are down." Wright's face paled. "Just running diagnostics." Before Mercer could question him further, the outpost shook violently. A second wave of bombardment had begun. But this time, the missiles were aimed directly at them. "They know we're here," Mercer said, drawing his sidearm. "And I think I know how they found us." Wright raised his hands as Mercer pointed the gun at his chest. "I can explain." "Make it fast," Mercer growled. The outpost shook again, dust falling from the ceiling. "Those aliens know exactly where we are." "I wasn't contacting them," Wright said. "I was accessing a hidden military channel. There are other survivors." Another explosion rocked the base. The lights flickered. "We don't have time for this," Commander Phillips shouted, rushing into the lab with 10 terrified crew members. The outpost's breaking apart. Mercer kept his gun trained on Wright. "If you're lying, I'll shoot you myself." "Fair enough," Wright said. They boarded the Vengeance as the outpost walls began to crack. Phillips took the co-pilot seat, while Mercer strapped in as pilot. His years flying combat dropships might just keep them alive. "Everyone hold on," Mercer called out. "This won't be smooth." He fired the engines. The ship lurched forward, smashing through the hangar doors just as the outpost collapsed behind them. The blackness of space surrounded them, but it wasn't empty. 3 alien fighters were closing in. "They see us," Phillips said, his voice shaking. Mercer pushed the ship into a dive, skimming the lunar surface. "Right. You said this thing has weapons?" Wright worked the control panel. "The absorption system needs to charge. We need to take a hit first." "You want us to get shot?" Phillips asked. "Trust me," Wright said. Mercer gritted his teeth and pulled the ship into a hard turn, facing the oncoming fighters. "Everyone brace." The lead alien ship fired. A purple beam struck the Vengeance. The ship shuddered, but held together. Lights on the console turned from red to green. "Now!" Wright shouted. Mercer hit the trigger. The Vengeance fired back, using the enemy's own energy. The alien fighter exploded in a ball of fire. The other 2 broke off their attack. "It worked," Phillips whispered. "Don't celebrate yet," Mercer said, pushing the engines to full power. "We need to get clear of the moon." As they accelerated away, the ship's sensors picked up a massive energy signature. On the view screen, they watched as the lunar outpost, their last connection to humanity, was vaporized by an alien destroyer. "Where to now?" Phillips asked, his face ashen. Mercer looked at Wright. "You said there are other survivors." "Where?" "Mars colony," Wright replied. "But we can't go there yet. We need intelligence. We need to know what we're fighting." "And how do we get that?" Wright pointed to a blinking dot on the scanner. "That scout ship. It's alone, running patrol." "We take it." Mercer studied the tactical display. "With this ship, we might have a chance. But it's risky." "Everything's risky now," Wright said. Mercer set the course. As they approached the alien scout ship, he addressed the crew. "I know you're scientists, not soldiers. But today, we're all that's left of humanity. Today, we fight back." The Vengeance slipped silently behind the scout ship. Mercer's plan was simple. Disable its engines, board it, and capture the aliens inside. They needed information more than kills. The first part went perfectly. 1 shot to the engine housing, and the scout ship was dead in space. Mercer, Wright, and 2 security officers suited up for boarding. As they prepared to dock with the disabled ship, Wright pulled Mercer aside. "There's something I haven't told you about the Crawfill." "More secrets?" Mercer asked. "They're not just here for resources," Wright said, his voice low. "Earth wasn't randomly targeted. They're running from something worse." Before Mercer could respond, the airlock opened. Inside the alien ship, something moved in the darkness. Something waiting for them. Mercer raised his weapon as the shape lunged from the darkness. A blast from his rifle hit the alien square in the chest. It fell back with a shriek. "Move in," Mercer ordered. The team entered the alien scout ship, weapons ready. The interior was strange organic curves mixed with metal technology. The air smelled like copper and something rotten. The walls pulsed with faint blue light. "Stay alert," Mercer said. "There will be more." They found 3 more Crawfill in the command center. 2 died fighting. The third surrendered, dropping its weapon and raising its 6-fingered hands. "Restrain it," Mercer ordered. The security officers bound the alien with emergency cables. Wright approached the creature, studying it with scientific curiosity. "Can you understand us?" The alien's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. Yes, your language is simple. Why did you attack Earth? Mercer demanded, pressing his gun against the alien's head. Resources. Breeding stock, survival. The alien's mandibles clicked. Your species carries what we need. Wright stepped closer. What are you running from? The alien hissed. The Void Collective. They consume everything. Worlds, stars, life. And Earth? Mercer asked. Not random target. Humans special. Different. The alien's eyes fixed on Mercer. You don't know what you are. A sudden explosion rocked the ship. The security officers were thrown against the wall. The alien broke free, grabbing for a hidden weapon. Mercer fired without hesitation. The alien collapsed, green fluid leaking from its body. We've got company. Phillips shouted over the comm. 3 destroyer-class ships just appeared. Get back to the Vengeance, Mercer ordered. Wright, download whatever you can from their systems. Wright connected a device to the alien console. Data streamed across his tablet. His face went pale. Mercer, you need to see this. On the screen were thousands of human life signs, stored, cataloged, alive. They're keeping humans, Wright said, in stasis pods on their mothership. Mercer stared at the data. How many? Thousands, maybe more. Another blast hit the scout ship. The hull groaned. We need to go now, Mercer said. They rushed back to the Vengeance, sealing the airlock just as the scout ship began to break apart. Mercer took the controls, pushing the engines beyond safety limits. The ship shot forward as the alien destroyers opened fire. They're too big to chase us through the asteroid belt, Mercer said, steering toward the floating rocks ahead. We can lose them there. The Vengeance weaved through the asteroids, taking hits but absorbing the energy. Behind them, one destroyer crashed into a massive rock, exploding in a ball of fire. When they finally emerged on the other side, the remaining alien ships were gone. We lost them, Phillips said, relief in his voice. Mercer turned to Wright. Now tell me what you know. All of it, Wright nodded. The Crawful aren't just harvesting humans for labor. They're extracting a protein from our blood, something that protects against a cosmic plague spread by the Void Collective. And you knew this before today, Mercer said. It wasn't a question. Yes, Wright looked at the others in the ship. I was part of a secret government project. We detected the Crawful fleet 3 years ago. We tried to prepare, but there wasn't enough time. So you let Earth burn? Mercer grabbed Wright by the collar. No, I tried to save what I could. The Vengeance was our last hope. Wright pulled away. But there's more. The data I just downloaded, it shows the location of their mothership, and all the humans they've taken. Mercer looked at the tactical display. The mothership was massive, surrounded by hundreds of fighters. We can't fight that, Phillips said. We don't fight it, Mercer replied. We infiltrate it. Free our people, then blow it to hell. Wright shook his head. It's suicide. Got a better idea? Mercer asked. Before Wright could answer, the ship's sensors blared. A new signal, different from the Crawful ships. Something was coming through space fast, dark, and unlike anything they had seen before. What is that? Phillips whispered. Wright's face drained of color. The Void Collective. They found us. The Void Collective ship looked like a hole in space. Not black, but empty. Like looking at nothing where something should be. Shut down all systems, Mercer ordered. Now, the crew scrambled to power down the Vengeance. The lights died. The engines went silent. They floated in the darkness of space, holding their breath. The Void ship passed by them, moving toward the Crawful fleet in the distance. It didn't seem to notice their small vessel. What was that thing? Phillips whispered. The end of everything, Wright said. The Void Collective consumes energy, life, matter. They leave nothing behind. Mercer watched the ship disappear into the distance. They're heading for the Crawful mothership. And all those humans in stasis, Reich added. Mercer made his decision. Power up. Minimal systems only. We're going after them. That's crazy, Phillips protested. We should run while we can. To where? Mercer asked. Earth is gone. If those things get the mothership, humanity is finished. No one argued. They knew he was right. The Vengeance followed the Void ship at a safe distance. As they approached the Crawthul mothership, they saw chaos. Alien fighters scrambled to defend against the Void attack. Energy weapons fired, but seemed to disappear into the Void ship without effect. The Crawthul weapons aren't working, Wright observed. The Void absorbs energy. Mercer saw their opportunity. They're distracted. We can slip in during the battle. He guided the Vengeance toward a small hangar opening on the underside of the mothership. Alarms blared as they breached the alien ship's defenses, but the Crawthul were too busy with the Void attack to notice one small human vessel. They landed in the hangar among alien fighters. The team armed themselves with whatever weapons they had. Phillips, stay with the ship. Keep it ready for a fast exit, Mercer ordered. The rest of you, with me. They moved through the mothership's corridors. The walls pulsed with the same blue light they had seen on the scout ship. Occasionally, the entire structure shuddered as the Void Collective attacked. The stasis chamber should be this way, Wright said, checking his tablet. They found the first chamber and froze in horror. Thousands of transparent pods lined the walls, stretching as far as they could see. In each pod was a human, suspended in clear fluid, eyes closed. My God, one of the security officers whispered. Mercer approached the nearest pod. Inside was a young woman, maybe 20. Tubes ran from her arms and neck to machines that pulsed with each heartbeat. Can we free them? Mercer asked. Wright examined the control panel. Yes, but not all at once. The system is designed to harvest them slowly. Start with this section, Mercer ordered. We'll work our way through. As Wright began the process, an alarm sounded. Red light flooded the chamber. We've been detected, Wright said. The doors at the end of the chamber opened. Crawthul soldiers poured in, weapons raised. Behind them stood a taller figure, different. Its skin was lighter, its features almost human-like, despite the alien characteristics. Humans, the leader said, its voice deeper than the others. You are persistent. Mercer raised his weapon. Let our people go. The leader made a sound like laughter. Your people? You don't understand. They are not yours. They are not even theirs. It gestured to the Crawthul soldiers. They are weapons. As are you? What are you talking about? Mercer demanded. I am Vexar, commander of the Crawthul fleet. And I am also part human. The leader stepped closer. Humans were seated on Earth long ago, engineered as biological weapons against the Void. The ship shuddered violently. Part of the ceiling collapsed, crushing several stasis pods. The Void is breaking through, Vexar said. We must evacuate. Not without our people, Mercer insisted. Vexar studied him. You feel it, don't you? The change inside you? The bombardment of Earth wasn't meant to destroy humanity. It was meant to activate you. Mercer felt a strange sensation in his blood. A burning. A power he couldn't explain. His hand began to glow with blue light, the same as the ship's walls. What's happening to me? He asked, his voice shaking. You're becoming what you were always meant to be, Vexar said. The question is, will you help us fight the Void, or will we all die here? Mercer stared at his glowing hand. The blue light pulsed with his heartbeat. Power surged through his veins. I don't care what I was made for, he said to Vexar. I care about saving those people. Another explosion rocked the ship. The lights flickered. We don't have time to argue, Vexar said. The Void will consume everything. Wright stepped forward. Mercer, if what he says is true, you might be able to interface with the ship's systems. Release all the stasis pods at once, Mercer looked at the thousands of humans suspended in the chambers. His family was gone, but he could still save these people. "Show me how," he demanded. Vexar led them to a central control panel. "Place your hand here. Your DNA will give you access." Mercer hesitated, then pressed his glowing palm against the alien surface. Pain shot up his arm. The ship's systems flowed into his mind, a flood of information, sensations, and knowledge. "I can see everything," he gasped. "The ship, the people, the void breaking through." "Release the stasis chambers," Wright urged. Mercer focused his thoughts. Throughout the massive ship, stasis pods began to open. Humans woke, confused and afraid. "Now what?" Mercer asked, pulling his hand away. Blood dripped from his nose. "Now we fight," Vexar said. "Or we run." The ship shuddered again. A massive hole tore open in the far wall. Through it, they could see the void ship attaching itself to the mothership like a parasite. "We can't beat that thing," Wright said. Mercer wiped the blood from his face. "Maybe we can." "Vexar, you said humans were engineered as weapons against the void. How?" "Your minds," Vexar replied. "Human consciousness disrupts the void's hive mind. But the connection would kill you." Mercer looked at the awakening humans. Some were already standing, looking to him for guidance. "Get everyone to the escape pods," he ordered his team. "And the vengeance. Save as many as you can." "What about you?" Wright asked. "I'm going to buy you time." Mercer turned to Vexar. "Take me to the main bridge. I need direct access to the ship's systems." As his team led the freed humans toward safety, Mercer followed Vexar through the crumbling mothership. They reached the bridge as another explosion rocked the vessel. There, Vexar pointed to a central pillar glowing with blue energy. "Full neural interface. But the feedback will destroy your mind." Mercer approached the pillar. "Will it work? Will it hurt the void?" "Yes. Your consciousness, amplified through our systems, will disrupt their hive mind. But you won't survive." Mercer thought of Earth, his family, all the people counting on him now. "Get to an escape pod," he told Vexar. "Make sure our people get out." Vexar nodded. "You would sacrifice yourself for a species that isn't even truly yours?" "Humanity is what we do, not what we are," Mercer said. "Now go." Alone on the bridge, Mercer placed both hands on the neural interface. Pain beyond anything he had ever felt tore through his body. His consciousness expanded, flowing through the ship systems and beyond. He could see the void collective, not ships, but a single organism spread across multiple vessels. A hive mind of pure hunger. Mercer pushed his thoughts into it like a virus. His memories, his pain, his humanity. The void ship connected to the mothership recoiled. Its perfect emptiness filled with chaos as Mercer's consciousness infected it. In the escape pods and aboard the Vengeance, the survivors watched as the void ship began to break apart. The mothership was crumbling too, but they were clear, heading toward Mars Colony where other human survivors waited. Wright stared at the destruction through the viewport. He did it. He actually did it. On what remained of the mothership's bridge, Mercer collapsed beside the neural interface. His body was broken, but his mind was everywhere in the ship's systems, in the void collective, and somehow beyond. As his physical form failed, he felt himself changing, becoming something new, not human, not alien, something more. His last human thought was of Earth, of home. Then John Mercer was gone, and something else, something that would protect humanity forever, took his place among the stars.